Well, another week is in the books, and I have a few TTMs to show off. I will say that I've been absolutely terrible about getting new TTMs out the last week and a half or so. I've just been so busy, I just haven't had time. But thankfully, I hit it hard, and some still rolled in. Here's our first one. Jim Golden, 14 days, 1 of 1. Answer to question. Thank you, Mr. Golden. These are awesome. Love these vintage cards. It says, Jim pitched a 3-hitter versus Pittsburgh in 62. Ha! So cool. Very, very cool. Next, we have 12 days, 1 of 1. Did not answer a question. Mr. Roberto Hernandez. White Sox action right there. Very cool. I love the stadium clubs. This one, and thank you, Mr. Hernandez. This one's I'm also very pumped about. These are, in addition to the Golden, I got these 2 Greg Norman cards off of ComC. So I got those out. Very exciting. You know what I noticed the other day is he put 2K24 down there, which is super fun. But he also draws this green right there too. Going for the cup, man. Those are really, really cool. I like those a lot. Just like the extra effort. You know, so many people just scribble an initial on a line, and he's putting my name in there. It says play hard. This one says attack life with his name, 2K for the year, and the little drawing. I think that's super cool. Next, I have 10 days, 1 of 1. My very first return. I was so excited. I saw some other people sitting out too. Hall of Famer Jim Leland. Super cool. This is the 2012 Heritage. I like this set quite a bit. Obviously we have a little mimicry there, but I just think it's really cool. And just to have a Hall of Famer, very, very awesome. Speaking of, shout out to one of my YouTube Hall of Famers, Daryl Giordano, who sent me some cards the other day, and very cool. I won this Dan Marino on his show, Dan the Man, and of course he threw in some extras. Look at this one, 1981 team leaders. We have Tony Dorsett, Everson Walls, Tony Hill, and Harvey Martin. Huh, what a card. What a card. And we got this Dragonair, which is awesome. What set is this? Not positive what set this is, but I know my kid will know. This Zygarde, this is his special league card. Very cool. The only league cards we have all came from Daryl. He's awesome. A Skarmory FB. I don't know who that is, but the kiddo will. That's cool looking. Those I like the dragon ones. Daryl Johnson, Moose will sign TTM, although the last time I sent, it didn't come back. Huangan, very awesome. He will also sign TTM all the way in Puerto Rico. Daryl, thank you so much. Mr. 95 Cents is the greatest, the awesomerest. Next, we have 13 days, 1 of 1. Also answered a question, Mr. Bobby Phil. One of those ComC pickups. Says Bobby works in the movie studio in his off season. Who knew? Who knew? Next, we have 18 days, 4 of 4. Answer to question, Mr. Dave Resendez. 3 of those. Dave Resendez. I bought so many of these Max cards. I'm just slowly building that set. Here we go. Here's a Hollywood one. 12 days, 2 of 2. Did not answer question. Miss Elaine Taylor, and she was also in addition to Diamonds for Breakfast, which what a great name. She was in Casino Royale. I love James Bond. I think that is just a cool cover. Although Casino Royale this is the original, obviously 1967. I think it's the least favorite of most James Bond favorites. Not because of the ladies, just the actual James Bond was a little rough. The story was a little rough. I don't know. It had some big names in it. But anyway, next, 10 days, 2 of 2. Did not answer a question. It is Mr. Jim Vatcher. Very awesome. Thank you, sir. 22 days, 2 of 2. Did not answer a question, which is unusual because he did last time. I just think sometimes they get in a hurry. Ron Gardenhire. So that should say, if you sent one before and they didn't answer a question, you can send them another one if you ever send them again. You just never know when they'll have time or be in the mood to do it. But super pumped to get these 2 sweet cards back. Thank you, sir. I'll put this over here by Jim. Another vintage return, 19 days, 1 of 1, did not answer your question. J.C. Martin. Very cool. Next, we have 10 days, 2 of 2. Hockey return, we have Sergei Bralin on these the classic 92, the 4-sport. Very cool. There's Shaq in that series. Random facts. 19 days, 3 of 3. Answer the question, Mr. Jerry Punch. Very cool. It's got an inscription on all of them. I tell you what, I can't see it. Sorry for the glare. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was just trying to see exactly what that says. I'm not sure, but it's awesome to get that. Next, 12 days, 1 of 1 did not answer question. Kevin Miller. I actually had more returns than I realized. Awesome. 2 hockey returns. Now we have 19 days, 5 of 5. I said to Mr. Purvis, hey, you can keep the dupes. You know, whatever duplicates you want, you feel free to keep them. He didn't keep any. He's like, no, I'm just going to sign them all. You put it in front of me, I'm going to sign it, and you can have it. It's awesome. Very generous of him. Very, very fun. Thank you, Mr. Purvis. I'll put the shark back up there. All right, very cool. 46 days, 1 of 1. Andrew Abbott. Always awesome to get a current player on that 24 tops. Very cool. Thank you, Mr. Abbott. Next, 30 days, 3 of 3. Man, this stack keeps going. Mr. Eric Anthony. Shout out to Sean, Jedi Master. Big Astros fan. Lots of Astros fans out there. I'm always surprised because I show off a lot of Ranger stuff. The Astros come by and say, hey, you know what? They're not the best team in Texas. I'm like, oh, talk to the ring. Next, we have 77 days, 1 of 1. Silvio Martinez. Very cool. This is one of those cards that got rescued from the dumpster. Now it's got some sweet ink on it. And, it could have been in a pile of trash. And now it's going to be in my collection forever. Very, very cool. Next, we have 9 days, 3 of 3. Answer to question. It is Mr. Rick Rennick. 68 rookie stars. That's a cool card. And here we go again on the Twinsies. The Twinsies. Shout out to Julie Farnham. Very cool. And my last baseball return today is 133 days, 3 of 3. Marvell Wayne, which is cool for the Cubbies. So that'll give me some more stuff to pair and send up to Chicago. I like to make sure that those kids have some positive reinforcement. I'm sure they're getting it home, but it's fun to just, reward great kids for doing great things. Okay, I have 2 more, and they're pretty special, and I hope you will hang out with me for just a second. They are not autographed, but I think they're pretty awesome. First one up, I sent to Mr. John Clark. I do really appreciate the World War II veterans, and whenever I see somebody will actually sign, I like to do these custom cards and send these out. Mr. Clark passed away like the week before I sent my card out. I didn't know it. It wasn't posted or anything, so very unfortunate. But his son-in-law did write a little letter, and if it's okay with you, I'll set Mr. Clark up there, and I'll read you just real quick. It's not a lot what their letter says. And it says, Dear Justin, I'm very sorry to inform you that Dr. Clark passed away on July 14th. He celebrated his 101st birthday on July 9th and peacefully went home to heaven just 5 days later. As a distinguished engineering professor, Dr. Clark would be very proud of your commitment to your son's love of American history. In my letter, I explained that how much my son enjoys history and and geography and just learning, and that this was part of my for he and I to sit down and talk about it, and he just loves learning, and I love that about him. He goes on to say, during his life, he supported many organizations across the country that promote the teaching of the history of America, of the America that we love, and have provided us so many opportunities to live in freedom, archived and maintained by the likes of Dr. Clark. And so what he did is, he says, I've never seen these cards that you sent to be autographed. It is an intriguing way of encouraging people, especially young ones like your son, to get to know heroes like Dr. Clark. And he has a couple of the websites listed that Dr. Clark liked, just going on about the history. He says you'll also find some more information about Dr. Clark if you Google, quote, John A. Clark 100th Bomb Group. And he's got a book called An 8th Air Force Combat Diary. And it talks about the 100th Bomb Group Foundation. In January, Masters of the Air was broadcasted on Apple TV, a true-to-life depiction of what it was like to be piloting a B-17. Dr. Clark is one of several pilots who were interviewed in the 10th episode. He and the other pilots had flown on the very missions portrayed in the series. God bless you and your family, Justin. Son, and then it says, Rod, and the son-in-law. I thought that was very sweet. I'm actually going to send these cards back to Rod and see if the family would like them, because I think they're pretty neat. And I don't know. I just thought that was a nice letter. My second one is also a very unfortunate return, but I wanted to take a second to recognize it. I don't always talk about my return to senders. Sometimes it's just because I had the wrong address or whatever it is. But this one, I think, is another very special one. Move that out a little bit. This is for, oh my gosh, sorry about that. Amateur hour over here. Got a little bent in the mail. That's okay. This is from Barbara Camasso, sorry. He is Mr. Camasso, Michael Camasso, which I believe, I'm not sure which one he is. I made some custom cards for Mr. Camasso as well. But he also passed away like right before I sent them. So I didn't know it, or I wouldn't have sent it. Certainly would not, want to burden the family during hard times. But his wife wrote me a letter, and I wanted to read that to you real quick, if you'll give me a moment. It says, Justin, very hard for me to be writing this note. My sweetheart Michael died on June 26, 2024. He was 99. We were married 46 years. I am much younger. God took him to paradise. I miss him all day. I love your card. Since he had, not sure, a couple words, he had something a day. I had some on hand, mailing you something special. What I think is something, I think, obviously this was pre-signed, and I think that's what she was saying, but I'm not 100% sure what the two words that she wrote are. And then she said, God bless you. Google Michael Camasso. I keep butchering his last name. It's Camasso. Camasso to learn more. And this is Barbara Camasso. Yes, I mean, the veterans, unfortunately, the World War II veterans are just, the few that are left aren't going to be with us long. So I just wanted to take the opportunity, since I did see that Mr. Camasso was signing, to make a custom card. She kept the card, and I'm actually glad she did, because she seemed to like it. But I wanted to shout out a couple wonderful veterans. I know we talk about sports and actors and stuff quite a bit, but at the end of the day, the only true heroes are these people. I mean, they are heroes. I'm gonna say that they're not true heroes, but because I don't know these people, but anybody who's willing to fight and die for our country, and you just gotta take a moment to appreciate their sacrifice. But besides that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. And again, if you want to get into TTMing, and I think you should, feel free to reach out to me if you need help, and I'm happy to help any way I can. I hope you all have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.
I am a nerd. I'm not a geek. I am a nerd.